Welcome to Seedsman TV. Today, we're counting down our picks for the top 10 celebrities who are pro-cannabis legalization. Number 10. Brad Pitt. Along with many other notable roles, Pitt is well known for playing Pothead Floyd in the 1993 film True Romance. But his on-screen character wasn't the only one having a constant battle with cannabis. It was claimed that Pitt's now ex-wife Angelina Jolie was furious about Brad's love for cannabis, and rumors are that it played a part in their divorce. Although Pitt claimed he doesn't smoke marijuana anymore, he still publicly praised former President Barack Obama's stance on cannabis legalization in 2012. Number 9. Richard Branson. Branson is well known for his incredible entrepreneurial career and owning his own island. But very few will know that he is also a member of the Global Commission on Drug Policy, an organization that supports decriminalization of all drugs, including marijuana.
So the Commission welcomes experimentation. We welcome California legalizing marijuana. We welcome other states legalizing medical marijuana. We welcome countries decriminalizing.
Number 8. Piers Morgan. Piers Morgan is probably one of the most controversial and irritating people on this list. But this might be one of those rare occasions when the British broadcaster and journalist might actually be talking sense. Piers has covered medical marijuana a few times during his spell at CNN and after a freak accident in 2013, where he fell off of a Segway in Santa Monica. He became a cannabis advocate.
I've tried cannabis when I was a younger lad, and I've also had to have Vicodin when I broke some ribs falling off, embarrassingly, a Segway in Santa Monica. And I can tell you that it was the Vicodin, which I was prescribed by my doctor, which gave me a massively higher high than the cannabis ever did. I couldn't see the logic between making the Vicodin a legally prescribed drug and making cannabis this demonized drug. Explain to me the difference.
Number 7. Larry King. A legend of the small screen in the US, King has always been famed for laid-back approach with his guests, including interviewing Snoop Dogg while rolling a joint. Larry supposedly even ate a pot brownie live on Conan in 2014. Although Larry King has heavily promoted the use of recreational use of marijuana, he's also talked about legalizing the drug for medical purposes on his YouTube channel with Dr. Oz. Number 6. Mick Jagger. The Rolling Stones are notorious for their rock and roll lifestyle, and founding member Mick Jagger still has issues with his past marijuana convictions.
You only had one law problem, right? A marijuana thing that you weren't convicted, right? You were never convicted.
I think I was. It's such a long time ago. I think I was. Every time I come to the United States, I still have to sort of go to the special place.
Really?
Yeah, even though it's 40-something years ago. The marijuana conviction. Yeah.
Interestingly enough, Jagger later on in the interview says, "In England, they always try out new mobile phones in the Isle of Man. They've got a captive society. So I said, you should try the legalization of all drugs on the Isle of Man and see what happens." Number 5. Bill Murray. Hollywood A-lister Bill Murray has had a long history with cannabis. But 4 years ago, he hosted an Ask Me Anything Reddit thread, and someone asked him how he felt about recreational marijuana. To which he responded, "Marijuana is responsible for such a large part of the prison population for the crime of self-medication. And it takes millions and billions of dollars by incarcerating people for this crime against oneself, as best can be determined. People are realizing that the war on drugs is a failure, that the amount of money spent, you could have bought all the drugs with that much money, rather than create this army of people and incarcerated people." Bill then goes to talk about how psychologists recommended smoking marijuana rather than drinking in a stressful situation. Number 4. Jack Nicholson. Chances are, if you watched The Shining as a child, you are still racked with fear anytime you see Jack Nicholson's face. The Oscar-winning actor is not afraid to speak his mind. He's not only supported recreational use of marijuana, but also states the war on drugs is a political and economic issue. Speaking to the Daily Mail, Nicholas stated, "The narcotics industry is enormous. It funds terrorism and, this is a huge problem in America, fuels the foreign gangs. More than 85% of men incarcerated in America are on drug-related offenses. It costs $40,000 a year for every prisoner. If they were really serious about the economy, there would be a sensible discussion about legalization. Number 3. Gene Simmons. KISS frontman Gene Simmons is a well-known ambassador in the medical marijuana community. Amazingly enough, Simmons has never actually smoked cannabis, but he understands the importance of medical marijuana and recently invested $10 million in Canadian cannabis company Invictus.
Look, champagne is booze, but you don't want to call it booze because there is a difference between that and the wino on the corner. Cannabis, I found out through doing research and stuff, and I urge everybody to ignore everything I say and find out for yourself. I was astonished to find out the medicinal value. The little 6-year-old girl who's suffering from epilepsy and rubbing a cannabis-based product on her, and within 2 weeks, she's either cured or minimized it. I think all of us need to understand more about this, specifically the legislators who don't have a clue what they're talking about when they pass legislation.
Number 2. Seth Rogen. Whether he likes it or not, Seth Rogen has, in recent years, taken the mantle as Hollywood's biggest cannabis smoker, and he has a long list of film credits, most of which center around medical marijuana in some form.
It's better to cough. It's like, makes you 10 times more higher than the Crossweed and the Pineapple Express, man. You're like, totally fucking gong show, man.
Rogen often speaks about his cannabis use, and recently revealed on The Jimmy Kimmel Show that he regrettably smoked marijuana in front of legendary director Steven Spielberg. Number 1. Mike Tyson. This former heavyweight champion and poster boy for bad tattoos is no stranger to cannabis. Tyson admits he used to get high before fights, and was even fined for taking the drug while in training in 2000. 7 years later, Mike was sentenced for cocaine possession, and admits that cannabis helps him in his rehabilitation. Since marijuana was legalized in California, Mike has been an ambassador for medical cannabis research, and he's even in the process of creating a 40-acre cannabis resort.